Okay. Yeah, it was good, man. Yo, I ain't never go live this much in my life, but this is, the talk of the town right now. So let me just let me discuss a few things. After I dropped my videos, man, I started, trying to interact, reading some of the comments, seeing what the talk of the town is, man, seeing what people are saying about the situation. I have not come to a conclusion as far as who won or who lost the battle because I haven't seen it all. I didn't see the second or third round. So it's possible that Cassidy lost a second and a third round. That's possible. It's possible that Cassidy won at least one of those. That's possible too. I had him win it the first, man. And right now, I just want to break down a couple things so that people can understand me. There's a lot of talk right now, and I've never been the type, right? I've never been the type to get mad at anybody about their opinions. So I'm kind of upset about some of the things that I'm seeing and reading, and personal messages that I've gotten, text messages, notification comments, and all of that. Listen, stop being mad or upset about what other people feel or believe, and that goes for whatever, any direction. I've never gotten mad about anybody else's opinion, and I won't. I won't argue it. I won't be mad about anybody's opinion. Again, ham sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly, which one is better? That type of deal. The problem comes when you try to force people to say what you want them to say or feel how you want them to feel. And that goes from any direction, right? So, man, shout out to the bro, man, Retro Rob. Rob had dropped the video. He dropped his assessment of the battle. And he says he feels like Cassidy lost. But I think he said all three rounds. Like, I think he said he got 30. I don't quite remember, but he feels like Cassidy lost, right? So I get a comment on my video shortly after. I didn't even know what it was about. And it just said, yo, Retro Rob is bugging. So when they say bugging, I don't know what they're talking about or anything. So the first thing I did was I hit Retro Rob up real quick. I called him and I texted him. He ain't answered the phone this time, right? So he's probably at work or working out or something. So that was the first thing I did. And since I didn't get a hold of him, I wanted to see what people were talking about. So I went to his channel, of course, and I watched this video. And it is what it is. That's how that brother feels, man. You can't say that Double R is the realest dude in the universe during the aftermath of the resolution. He's the realest in the world because he broke it down in a way that you saw as favorable. But now he sees it a different way and he's bugging. Nah, man. Nah, that can't be the way brothers play it, yo. Straight up. Do I agree with him? If he says that Arsonal won that battle 3-zip, nah, I don't agree with him. And I didn't even see the second two rounds, but I was there for the first round, and Arsonal didn't win that battle. That first round to me. So if the second two, if Cass lost those rounds, he lost the battle. That just is what it is, man. And it's not the end of the world. There's some things that Double R said that I totally agree with as far as constructive criticism, being able to make adjustments. That type of stuff is necessary, not just in battle rap, y'all, in life, period. And that doesn't go for just rappers or leagues or anything like that. That goes for all of us, period, as men, as adult men, and especially as black men. Listen, there's nobody walking this earth, nobody that's perfect, y'all. Nobody is perfect. So the fact that we're all innately flawed means that there are things that we say, do, or whatever we do it wrong. So there's nobody that's above reproach. Cass is not above reproach, man. So to the bros who feel like, yo, Retro Rob is bugging or anything like that, y'all free to feel that way because I'm just saying I can't carry it like that, and I won't. So I definitely want to chop it up with him, man, and kind of pick his brain to go a little more in depth in some of the things that he said. But again, there are a lot of things in that video that I agree with. some of the stuff I disagree with in that video. He said that anybody who has Cassidy winning this battle is a stand. I don't take that personally because, again, I didn't have Cassidy winning the battle. I haven't seen or broken it down or judged it or anything like that yet. I haven't done that yet. So I disagree. Like, to say that anybody who says that Cassidy won is a stand, nah. But anyways, man, let me give my assessment of just the whole gumbo of what I've been seeing and hearing right now. First of all, we all know everybody just wants Cassidy to be humbled. That's just the long and short of it, from the battle rappers to the leagues. You think the leagues want to come up with all that cheese for him? Nah, man, no. So a lot of the battle rappers, a lot of the battle rap media, you know, they've been against him. And just like that there are individuals who are against him, there are individuals who are for him. So I don't fault anybody for who they ride with or how hard they ride with him. I don't like revisionist history. So, and I don't like anybody trying to tell you how you should feel about it. I can't make you like a ham sandwich, yo. So I'm never going to try to do that. I can make a mean one, you know, or I can make a mean peanut butter and jelly. I can make the best joints. I can use the strawberry preserves, you know, the best ingredients. And if you just don't like it, you don't like it. So I can't force you to like it, and I most definitely can't force you to say and tell the world that it's the best. But what I feel like, just reading everybody else's remarks and their feelings and everything, let me say I'm disappointed based upon what I heard. And this is why I'm disappointed, y'all. And I think there has to be a differentiation. So this is where I disagree with the bro, man, Double R. And I think it took stand-up dude, man. It took a stand-up dude for Double R to voice his opinion that way, knowing that there was going to be some backlash. Just like there's backlash, there's always going to be backlash, no matter what you believe or whatever. So knowing that there's going to be backlash, man, I think that's dope, man. He voiced his opinion. But so this is where I disagree with him. First of all, like I said, I disagree with that whole, the only way you can have him winning is if you a stand. And I also disagree with one of the things that Double R is saying Cassidy needs to do. Does he need to change or update some things? I believe that, I'm going to say yes and no. If by update you mean start dumbing things down and kind of molding himself and shaping himself to do what these other guys are doing, absolutely not. Absolutely not. And the reason why I say that is, even if, and I understand why Double R said it, what he's trying to say is he has to make it more palatable for the audience. But the reason why I disagree with that is because that's not Cassidy. I don't like that. I don't like when anybody does that. I definitely don't want Cass to do it. I definitely don't want Cass to do it. And this is why. If he did that, or when he does that, if and when he does that, he loses credibility to me. Because that's not what he stands on. From the time he came in here, that's what he's been saying. Yo, the game is messed up. All of this other stuff, I'm here about bars. That's what it's about. I'm here about bars. I'm here about the science and doing that. So for him to kind of dumb it down for dumber people because they're not catching stuff and he's not getting the immediate reaction that you know some battle rappers get when they say ABC 1 2 3, because everybody can stand ABC 1 2 3, and that's the immediate satisfaction in a big room of, oh, you get the crowd and all of that type of stuff. I think that goes against what this brother stands for. That goes against what I personally stand for. I'm not dumbing myself down ever. I use words on my channel. I speak in a certain type of way. I've been hearing it my whole life. Oh, you talk like a white boy. You sound like a white boy. So I could put on all type of, man, I was born and raised in Camden, New Jersey. We moved to the suburbs, y'all. So I can speak the same way. I can use the same language that y'all use. I'm never going to do that because that's not me. So y'all see my channel started popping off, right? And now I'm growing, but I'm growing a lot more slowly. I could do what these other bloggers are doing. I could start kissing people's butts. I could start saying what people want to hear and saying it in a way that they want to hear. I could start, trying to get somebody to edit and mix and add graphics and all of that. I could do all of that. But nah, man, that's not what I stand on. Y'all gonna rock with me because you rock with me. The way I am, period. And if you don't, you just don't. I don't need the numbers that bad. I don't want the numbers that bad because if compromising myself is what I have to do to get numbers. Keep those numbers. Keep them. That's my character, and that's why I rocked with Cass to begin with. Because this is no different than what was being said after the goods battle. No different. No different, Double R. That's where I disagree, but I agree, man, and I definitely salute and respect. Man, look, Double R is the bro. Like, that's my bro. That ain't changed because of his opinion. So, to anybody, to the bros, anybody otherwise saying, Double R is bugging or anything like that, nah, I disagree with y'all. That brother feels, how he feels. And I'm not going to try to sway it. But what I'm not going to do is let anything like that sway me. That's not who I am. I'm not letting anybody else's opinion sway mine. So my opinion about this battle is that it's a disappointment to me. It was a disappointment just from what I've heard. And we have to learn to separate and differentiate. And this is the problem. And this is a hole that Cass dug himself into. This is the gift and the curse of his promotion. And I said the exact same thing right after the goods battle. The exact same thing. It's a gift and it's a curse. So what did I say after the goods battle? What was my recap? What was the title of my recap of that battle? The title was Cassidy won the battle and lost the war. So how? How does that even make sense? How do you win the battle and lose the war? So when I say lost the war, I definitely didn't mean that he was whack, he was trash, or anything like that. Nah, not at all, because he wasn't. I did the bar breakdowns. I thought a lot of that was dope. But y'all know I'm a lyricist guy anyways. And y'all know I'm an intellect. So it's crazy and it's funny how people clown Cassidy for the things that he says as far as the science, breaking down the science. And they make fun of him or they try to tease him or clown him for words that he uses or the complexity of his rhymes. That's right up my alley. That's what I like to hear. So I'm listening to it with different ears anyways. The headshot bow, that can get the crowd popping, but if you can say it in a more creative way, man, I think that's dope. So, but I feel the same way here that I did then, man. And it was said by, I don't remember if it was Danny Myers, but it was a lot of people that have said it, and I still feel the same way. Won the battle but lost the war. When you have everybody's expectations at a certain level, when you don't meet those, you don't meet them. So this is my thing. I've been listening to Cass since before y'all knew his name, knew anything about him. Because, again, this is where I'm from. I'm from the greater Philadelphia area, literally right across the bridge from Philly. So, and I went to college in Philly. So I was listening to his freestyles, mixtapes on the radio, all of that type of stuff before anybody heard his name, before anybody outside of that knew who he was really. And so when I heard, when Cass was saying he was at a 9.5, when I'm thinking of Cassidy, the rapper, at a 9.5, my expectations are crazy because I'm thinking of and remembering the stuff that this dude has said over his career and how crazy it was. And the fact that this is the thing. I think this is where a lot of the expectations fall. When Cass was doing this thing, right, when he's on top of the world, when he's dropping these freestyles and everything, he's so far ahead of everybody. He's saying things that you crazy. He's so far ahead of everybody else. So the gap may be closed a little bit, but he also still evolved. So when he's talking about the science, he's talking about the way he's structuring words and illustrations that he's using and everything. So that changed as well. But when I'm thinking of Cassidy at a 9.5, and I've been saying this before the battle, I said, the Cass that I want that. Y'all know the drink he did. You already know with Beanie Siegel and Fabulous, with Mac and Fab. Do you already know Cass? That Cass right there, bro. Right now, there's nobody that could touch him. There's none of these battle rappers can touch that Cass. But the thing is, I can't expect that because that was 15 years ago. So that's asking this dude to go backwards. Here's a guy who literally writes rhymes every day of his life. And I don't know how much y'all know about Tiger Woods or what makes him so great. But Tiger Woods, this is after he's Tiger Woods and after he's accomplished all the stuff that he's accomplished. And after he's the best golfer in the entire world. Same thing with a Kobe Bryant. After he's the best player in the entire world. Tiger Woods, he just go win his 30th championship of the week or the year, and he doesn't take off time. He doesn't go on vacation. He goes and he's trying to improve his stroke. He's trying to improve his drives. He's trying to improve the long game, the short game, all of that. Same thing with Kobe. Kobe's the best player on the planet, but he's still in the gym every day putting up 5,000 shots. So that's the same thing Cassidy is and does, man. The dude writes rhymes every single day, and he's always trying to advance and get better. So for me to even ask him to go back to that, you already know, Cass, whatever. But that's what I envisioned in my head. So when I'm thinking this is Cass at a 9.5, that's the Cass that I wanted to see in the ring. That's exactly how I wanted him to approach it in all ways, with the lyrics, with the aggression, all of that. But he's advanced from that time. It's 15 years ago. So I'm essentially asking him to take a step back, and he's not being true to his art if he does that, especially if he does it just for immediate reaction of people in the building. So I feel the same way now that I felt before in that regard. Is I felt disappointed because I had a certain expectation, but I can't project my expectation onto him. You know what I mean? So that's how I feel about that. And also, this is what I'm going to say, and this doesn't just go for the bro Double R, because again, I've been reading my notifications, my comments. I actually just commented on my live from earlier. There was an individual who was saying something to me, and I responded back, and that's what made me even want to do this and come back live again, knowing this is the most I ever been on live, like, ever. But hi, how are you? But there has to be an understanding that there's a difference between not living up to expectations and wins and losses. And what I've heard, and I've heard this from Double R, the video I just watched from him, had very little to do, as a matter of fact, almost nothing to do with Arsonal at all. And Double R is gauging this based off of his expectation. So it would have been different to me if he said, "Yo, Arsonal outbarred him, he barred him to death," or anything like that. But there were actually a couple times in that same video where he was saying, and this ain't even about Arsonal. It's not like Arsonal did great or anything. So this is basically expectation management right now. So because I feel the same way, but we have to be able to separate them. So again, this is definitely not me coming on here saying Cassidy won, because I don't know. I haven't seen the second and third rounds yet. Haven't watched it, haven't heard it, and I want to watch it on tape too, because it may come across differently there. And again, I told y'all about Swave, like when Arsonal was rapping first round, and this is not just the second round, because I was there for like the first quarter to maybe the first half of Arsonal's second round, but even throughout the entire first round, Swave is right there on my right, and the same exact look I was given, the same exact stuff I was thinking and saying. Swave is like, "Yo, is he serious? Is he serious?" And he saw my expressions when Ars was dropping his punches, or and all of that. And I'm just like, man, I was disappointed. I was disappointed in Arsonal as well. And the reason I was disappointed in Arsonal, y'all know, man, I've been rocking with Ars from the beginning, and it wasn't even really Arsonal's fault, these expectations, because it's not even like he was talking super duper crazy, like, "Yo, this is the best I ever was. I never been this good." But that's what other people have been saying. I heard Arsonal's rounds, yo. Yeah, Cassidy doesn't stand a chance. Cassidy's about to die. 30-piece, not even close. This is the best Ars like ever. And first of all, it was a whole lot of Captain Planet going, a whole lot of recycled stuff. He recycled his own stuff. It was a whole lot of stuff where I'm not going to call them stolen bars, because they may not have been stolen. It could just be creative parallels, if you will, but just overdone and overused bars or terminology. And it was just, you had Averb saying that. Averb saying, "Yo, Arsonal, I heard his rounds, they crazy." Danny Myers, same thing. You had a lot of people saying that this is the craziest Arsonal. So the event, to me, that battle in particular, from what I heard of it, it was a disappointment to me, but that was because of my expectations. So there's a difference, yo. There's a difference between that and doling out wins and losses. So, but I definitely understand, and I understand from an individual who supports Cassidy and supports what he does and supports the movement and all of that. To go in and I'm sure that y'all were thinking a lot of the same things I was thinking. Even if the image that you had in your head wasn't the cast from that particular song or that 8 to 12 month period where he was just killing everything in that same style, that same fashion. Even if that wasn't your idea, I'm sure you all have your own ideas of when you hear Cassidy say, "I'm at a 9.5." Cass at a 9.5 is not even a close battle. It's not debatable or anything like that. And you know, so if it was that Cass, like I said, is who's standing in front of that, B? Who's standing in front of that? But unfortunately, his style right now has evolved, and he's using a lot more. It's a lot more complex. So again, man, would it be dope? Would he make a killing if the Cassidy from the You Already Know era were to clip up and hit the URL stage every time he has a URL battle? If that Cassidy were to clip up with that mind frame, that style, and all of that, he would be a hit, man. He would be a hit. The URL would love him. It would go crazy every time, no matter where it was. Atlanta, Philly, Los Angeles, overseas, it would go crazy because it's that vintage classic Cassidy, man, that we all, whose music we all know and love and fell in love with, basically. The talent is just, but however, that's a regression, man. That's a regression from where he is musically right now. So it's a gift and a curse. It's a gift and a curse. Where can we realistically ask him to regress and go back to the form he was in 15 years ago? Yeah, we can, especially when we paying for it. Stage passes and all that, $300, pay-per-view. When we're paying our money for it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's definitely not unfair to have requests or anything like that. That's not unfair. But at the same time, man, it's trying to view it from his lens, man. I try to view it from everybody's lens. And yeah, man. So disappointed. Yeah, I'm disappointed because I didn't get what I built up in my head. But again, anybody, anytime you ever want to just not have to worry about disappointment, the only way for you to be disappointed is when you have expectations. That's not just in battles. That's not just in battle rap. That's in life. The only time you're ever disappointed is when you have an expectation. So I had certain expectations, man, and yeah. So, but what I'm going to do is before I start talking about wins and losses, it's like I got to break the bars down, man, because that ain't changed for me. You think I was just saying that? You think that was a one-time thing because Goods ain't have bars? You think that was a one-time thing because, well, I know that there are some of y'all who do think that. Not everybody here who's on this live or who's watching this video is somebody who's a fan of Jersey Niner or who agrees with Jersey Niner. There's people here who hate me or hate what I stand for and all of that, whatever. But that has no bearing on what I do, what I think, what I say, what I feel. So, yeah, man, like I said, there's definitely a disappointment. So, yeah, nothing's changed. I'm not biased. I'm not on some, and I never was. I try to tell y'all that. Y'all accuse me of it nonstop, and I try to tell y'all and show you. Nah, that's not the case, B. Definitely not the case. And I spoke the same way. I said the same thing about the Philadelphia crowd when everybody, oh yeah, you're just biased. And oh yeah, it's a good thing it's in Philly because the crowd is going to be biased. And I'm like, yo, I grew up here. I know this place, man. People ain't biased here. They boo the Eagles more than they boo the opponents. That's a fact. That's a fact. The Eagles fans are the nastiest fans in the universe. I said that when I started working there and I saw how they were. They get at you, B. But this is the thing, man. When they love you, they love you. But they can love you and still bomb on you, man. They'll boo you. Donovan McNabb got booed not almost. Every single time the Eagles lost, they booed Donovan. They booed the defense. They booed Andy Reid. All of that. So, but yeah, man. So I'm gonna break this battle down the same way I break all battles down. I'm gonna get these bars together, judge it that way. And that's how I'm going to gauge the W versus the L. But as far as the success of the event, that's a different story. That's a different story. You could, and that's what I meant, man. You could win the battle and lose the war. So if I break these bars down and Cass outbar Ars, Cass gets the W. If Ars outbar Cass, Ars gets the W. But none of that, the, what opponent won, has any bearing on the success of the battle at all to me, overall. Because, if my expectations weren't met, then that's you lost the war, man. You could win the battle and lose the war. Or it could surprise me, honestly, because I don't go by what other people are saying. And, a lot of people are talking and saying stuff right now about, oh, yeah, it was trash. The battle was trash, period. But the hilarious part about it is people are doing the same thing here that they did in the goods battle that I disagree with, and I don't judge battles by that. You know what I've been hearing? Go look in the comment sections, and I want y'all to count how many people. Oh yeah, well he got booed. Okay, he lost because he got booed. Everybody got booed, but whatever. Oh, Gilly the Kid left the stage. Oh, okay. So he lost the battle because Gilly the Kid left the stage. Somebody who don't rock with him or like him anyways. Forget what he's saying in these interviews to sound good. The brother been a hater, B. We'll know the truth. He got his own circus stream, man, on I don't know if it's YouTube or podcast or something. But he'll tell the truth, Gilly's locked in too. He's clocked in, especially when he sees what people are saying. He's gonna jump right on that train, man. That's just what it is. So I don't gauge battles based on who stayed on the stage and who walked away. I don't gauge battles based on that. I don't gauge battles based on who cheered and who booed. I don't gauge them based on that. I never did. I never will. So, I'm gonna break this battle down, and y'all can definitely trust me to do so honestly, because I'm gonna go bar for bar the same way I did with the goods battle, the same way I did with every battle I've ever watched. Every battle I've ever watched, that's how I judged it and gauged it. So, man, double bang, gold gang. I just wanted to say that, man. There's a difference between the success of the event or wins and losses as far as the success and